Alright, welcome back. If you guys have already watched part 1 and you have watched part 2, this is part 3, where I actually kept presents underneath the Christmas tree. I'm going to give you guys my top 3 picks as well as the wild card for 2026. Let's go. So we are ranking these top 3 choices based on these 3 factors that creates them as a winner. Number 1, transformation. Number 2, demand. And number 3, timing. Because when these 3 merge together, right, you guys don't just get a nice home, you get a market-driven product. And when this market-driven product, right, you enter in already, usually the returns are always very upsized one, and I know you like that. Okay, so what's the first pick? Piang! First pick, I think quite obvious. I believe every YouTube you all watch, they will also say Thomson because it's undeniable because the lifestyle, the infrastructure, all of this come together, right? It is really undeniable, and this is really a project I'm personally most excited about, which is Thomson View. Okay, so for Thomson View itself, transformation, Upper Thomson is deep in the infrastructure phase already. Okay, for Thomson East Coast Line, it connects you to Orchard, CBD and Marine Parade. North-South Corridor is also shaping connectivity and accessibility by cars. Over there, you have cycling networks, park connectors and rejuvenation, all laid out nicely for you already. So it's not just theory, it's really happening right before your very eyes there, guys. And number 2, demand. So the demand over here at Thomson View is not just like I have a need, but it's very emotional, right? Because people who wants to live there are people who have lived there for a long time, and not only that, they want to chase for primary school. So once you merge, like I want to live there plus I want to chase the primary school, the overall kind of demand becomes very highly emotional. And not forgetting, right, there will be a group of buyers who wants the RCR location to enter in, and there will be also people who want greenery, there will be also people who want peace and accessibility. So you merge all these people together, wow, demand very high. More importantly, right, you bring in another group of investors. These investors are buying so that they can flip to a high demand game. So you mix in this group of people, end up you really have a rojak of high demand people, and that will just make this project very hot selling. And in addition, because there is so many units, 1,200 units, that would mean that overall pricing will be very spread out. You are unlikely to see units which are kind of overly staged in terms of price, and that helps you as a buyer to space out your choices. So this gives you a good pricing strategy, and more importantly, with so many units, right, there is enough room for prices to stage up even during the whole sale process as a developer sale, as well as later on as a resale property as well. Timing, and this is probably something that people miss out, right? And I'm going to tell it to you straight in your face. This is also because the opportunity created by Thomson View due to their messy en bloc saga. This land was effectively purchased at yesterday's pricing but launching in today's market condition. This time lag creates a value window that most consumers will not realize it. But once I tell you like that, you guys can actually understand already. Meaning to say, if you were to buy something at Thomson, basically it's the old land cost, right, with today's market's condition. So how wrong can it go, correct? So this actually repeats what we saw in Jadescape as well. So Jadescape was also the same thing. It has huge land. It was really also a school driver. So this actually repeats what we saw in Jadescape as well. Land was good, developer was good, there were top school, there was ready demand, and we really saw how well Jadescape actually did as well, right? So if you actually missed out on Jadescape, right, Thomson View could be your second shot. And of course, when it comes to developer, right, this is by UOL, and it's known to have very good layouts, efficient planning, very strong livability in its facilities and amenities, and long-term family usability. So based on that, right, we know for a fact that this UOL don't do weird layouts, right? They just don't, they don't compromise on space, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to mess this up, right? So here's a take, right? This is not going to be your cheapest launch, but this is the launch where price appreciation will meet lifestyle. So people will not buy here because it's cheap. People buy here because they want to grow their life and develop roots over here. So if you guys want MRT access, you want top school, you want greenery, you want the ASEA location with a strong exit into a home that you actually love, then this is perhaps the one for you. Next up, Lentor Gardens. Okay, Lentor Gardens, why is that so? Because Lentor gives you a second chance entry into the whole Lentor collection, Lentor growth story. And this is going to be an improved product given that developer is trying to, up their reputation and give quality homes to Singaporeans to restore confidence. Now, transformation. Lentor is still strong, guys. Long-term planning. It's a growing ecosystem that is built along the Hillock Park as well as the MRT connectivity. In terms of demand over there, this will be the last plot of land that is surrounding the park. So that means if you miss the earlier Lentor launches, this is your final meaningful shot. Okay, for timing wise, this is where it gets interesting. Despite it being the last plot launch over there, right, you are regaining first movers advantage. Yes, because the land price is so low, guys, at 920 PSF per plot ratio. This is effectively 2 years ago pricing in a more mature ecosystem with GFA harmonization. So low pricing, GFA harmonization, and your quantum is still kept lower. It is like a triple threat if you ask me. So some of you may be saying, hey, but then Veroy, this one is by Kingsford, the history not so good. It is true, okay, don't need to sugarcoat it. We saw Kingsford Water Bay, which wasn't that ideal. But frankly, let's look at what they have given to us at Normanton Park. Normanton Park was awesome actually. It actually improved by a lot. And from there, they also improved their upcoming launch, or the current launch, which is One Marina Garden. And that actually improved tremendously as well. And if you realize, Kingsford has been constantly buying new plot of land, and it also shows their commitment to be planted into Singapore. More importantly, having our government to scrutinize developers will keep our standards high. So eventually, right, Kingsford may lack the prestige for now, but the product is not substandard at all. So if you guys want connectivity, you want the transformation, you want the lowest entry price, low land cost with a huge potential upside, this is your entry opportunity. Alright, and last but not least, my top pick number 3 will be Bayshore. Bayshore is literally being built, and I see it as the East Coast 2.0. Okay, it's a car-like zone, an MRT anchored waterfront location with integrated living, guys. In terms of demand, East Coast has already established its pricing acceptance. People are able to accept 3,000 to about 3,400 per square foot. So in that sense, right, East Coast market is already primed to accept price points. When it comes to Bayshore, which is the upper East Coast or the East Coast 2.0, with that kind of offerings, views, and of course that kind of layouts that we're talking about, prices over there will be acceptable to the public as well. So when it comes to time itself, right, this is a slight challenge because land was actually bought at 1388 PSF per plot ratio, so likely pricing would start around 27 and go upwards from there. But again, main thing here is this, because the land at Bayshore was actually bought before the LBC land increase, this also allows the developer to price it lower, and that means any buyers that comes in now will be able to benefit from higher land bid prices thereafter. So the timing is pretty strategic as well. But of course, if we are looking at affordability and reality check, there will be people who find this kind of price tag a little bit hard to swallow and hence pricing people out. So that's why I feel if let's say you guys are looking more for central convenience value, lower PSF, then Thomson View and Lentor will probably check your boxes and offer better entry points. However, as I mentioned, because Bayshore is in this infrastructure phase, this is also the time where government will establish this entire township, bringing in new population, which bring future demand as well. So if you guys were holding something like that, you guys would know that this future demand will be your exit strategy. So something like Bayshore is a project that, yes, you don't really buy cheap at the start, but you actually get to buy before the influx of demand comes in, and you actually get to buy before the new supply sets a new benchmark. So for people who want your East Coast lifestyle, waterfront living, transformation upside and MRT connectivity, and if you have some level of budget, this is definitely something for you to look for as a future lifestyle district. And now we're going to go into our wildcard segment. What is the wildcard of all this pick? What is your thoughts? I'm going to tell you my wildcard over here. It would be River Modern. Yes. Why? Because scarcity plus the layout. This will be your wildcard strategy. Why do I say so? And again, this wildcard, it is largely dependent on if the developer gets it right. So why do I say that? Because this project, right, I believe the success will be hinging on how Guapoland actually chop the units. Okay, if they take the river green style, right, where they actually shrink unit sizes to neutralize the overall high land price and the high quantum, this quantum will then become very attractive and the take-up rate will be very strong. Okay, because the truth is this, the demand reality is there is a pent-up demand in that location. People still want River Valley, and if the numbers work out, they will buy. And if they will buy, high take-up rate, you know where we're going from here already lah. But if they go aggressive and they don't go like so choppy in that sense and they go in the Landor Hill style of sizing, the quantum will be very, very big. And it will be a little bit more undigestible. 吃不消, you know. Then people may say, never mind, move on from that. So this project to me is a mixture, it's a balance. Whether or not it's going to be a hot selling one, it largely depends on the developer. If you guys want central living, and if you guys miss all the earlier ballots and want a second shot, keep an eye on this one. Because this could go from wildcard to the top choice very, very quickly, alright? So that's what I have for you for my top 3 choices and wildcard. And before I end this video, can I just take a moment for us to zoom out and think about perspective for now? Alright, there is a chance, right, in 2026, we will actually see a gap in supply in the second half of the year, right? So if launches actually slows down, supplies is not enough to keep up, demand will then spill into the resale market. Why is that so? It's because buying property in Singapore isn't just for an investment, it is more for a need. And if new launches don't match that need, right, then buyers generally will flow into the resale market. And if you guys are out there who have a need and you need to buy a home, don't always just sit on the fence, because praying and hoping the prices come down is not a strategy. That won't work. Okay, so more importantly is to understand what is your need, how do we fulfill that need, and what is the plan laid out for you guys to progress to your next step. So don't just ask, should I wait for 2026 new launch? Should I buy this one? Should I go for the queue number? Ask yourself, is there something that you can capitalize on today before the need flows into the resale market, before the need dries up the current supply and prices pushes up? And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching all these 3 parts. I hope this helped you guys to get clarity, get understanding, and more importantly, have a sense of how you guys can plan your property journey. And once again, right, if you guys like this video, you think that it's helpful, or if you know someone who is confused and want another set of eyes to look at their scenario, right, please share this video to them. And of course, if you guys are looking to capitalize on the market and want to know more and find out how we help you guys plan your strategy, do hit me up, scan the QR code over here, and I will reach out to you and we'll do a one-to-one consultation. Once again, thank you very much for being with me for 2025. I look forward to giving you guys more quality content, more energetic content, and more in-depth analysis so that you guys can deliver real results for your property. My name is Veroy. Blessed Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.